Today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, bring you comics news, reveal the books I bought this week, and, if I screw up, a blooper reel. How y'all doing? That's Santa Claus. I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. Coming to you from Southern Realms Comics and Games here in Ruston, Louisiana. And this is the second of three new Christmas-themed Comic Hero tees. Now, if you look close enough, you see the ornaments represent some of the books, or some of the Marvel books that I read. And, yeah, I mean, last week I wore a DC shirt. Next week, I still haven't come up with an idea for a third one. But y'all will. But I will wear it in episode 195. But this is episode 194, and right now, it's time to give away a free T-shirt. All right, last week's episode, I asked, "What is Luke Cage's first superhero name?" Well, the correct answer is Power Man. And 17 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee, and that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is... wow, 17 names. I haven't had that many names in a long time. A good friend of the store, Dustin Gullidge from Monroe, Louisiana. So congratulations, Dustin. You win yourself a free Comic Hero tee. All right, here's the question for next week's episode. This is a Spider-Man question, and this is very easy, especially if you follow Spider-Man and you know everything about his powers and when he made his debut, which is actually part of the question. True or false? Spider-Man made his debut in Amazing Spider-Man #1. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in the drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. Now, I tell you, when I got this this notification on YouTube a few weeks ago, I was completely overjoyed. I always thought that I would get a lot of viewers from a lot of places, but never in my wildest dreams that I get a viewer so far overseas. Now, a college student from Okinawa, Japan, by the name of Victor Kobayashi, has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight. And this one features size, and women who wield size. Representing Marvel, we have Elektra. And representing Mortal Kombat, we have Mileena. These two are gonna duke it out in a segment I like to call
the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's Elektra versus Mileena. Elektra possesses peak human physical and mental condition, is a skilled martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant, a master assassin, an expert with various types of weaponry, particularly her trademark twin size, and low-level mind control and telepathic communication. Mileena is a skilled martial artist and hand-to-hand combatant who wields two sais that contain mystic energy. Who will win? This would start off with old-fashioned martial arts. Because both their martial artist skills are on par with one another, these two wouldn't be able to land any attacks. That's when they pull out their sais. The two would clash and cut each other for minutes on end. Elektra would then try to use her low-level telepathy on Mileena by telepathically telling her, "You're an unworthy opponent." Mileena would give in until a demonic voice tells her, "Fight." Mileena charges up the purple energy her sais contain and begins to carve Elektra up like a slab of ham. Then a demonic voice tells her, "Finish her." Mileena then takes off the veil that covers her face, revealing her razor-sharp teeth. She then eats Elektra alive. Mileena wins, or should I say, Mileena wins. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed that fight. If you have fight requests for future episodes, contact info is down there. Alright then, it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics. All right, I'm going to talk about two things in this segment of Comically Speaking. And the first one is the obvious elephant in the room and has been in terms of movies in the past few days or the past few months. Star Wars The Last Jedi came out in theaters yesterday. I've heard that it was very good, but I haven't seen it yet, but I will. And I'll let you know what I think about it in next week's episode 194. All right, the second thing I want to talk about is a Marvel character who has been revealed to be brought back to the land of the living by Doctor Strange, and that character is the Sentry. Now, the Sentry is a superhero who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns, and he has been now. A lot of folks consider him to be Marvel's answer to Superman, although I think that the Marcus version of Hyperion is Marvel's answer to Superman. Just my opinion, though. And, I mean, he's a good-natured superhero, but he also has a very bad side to him. And that side is the Void. And when he loses control, it's hard to become the Sentry again. And at one point, during his miniseries, about 7 years ago, called Siege, the Void took completely took over the Sentry, and there was only one way to defeat him, and that was to kill him, which is what Thor did. But then over time, he was actually brought back as as one of Apocalypse's 4 horsemen, and that horseman, of course, was Death. It seems like there's been a lot of Marvel characters that have been brought back, or that have become the Horseman Death. I mean, he has, Wolverine has, although Penance, Archangel, who was actually the first one. Thanks, Anna. But Archangel was the first one, and then Wolverine became the Horseman Death near the end of the 20th century. The only great thing about that was that he ended up getting the adamantium back that Magneto stripped from him. And then recently the Sentry. Now there was another Marvel character who was brought back, and I'm kind of going off the rails a bit on the topic. There was Speedball. After his injuries in the first Civil War, he became Penance, but he got better from then. But the Sentry, I don't know. I've never really been a fan of the character. I mean, I was at first, but then over time, I don't know. Bob Reynolds just doesn't, which is the Sentry's real name, by the way. He I don't know. There's just something about him that I don't know, but maybe Marvel has bigger plans for him. Who knows? All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now then, let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
All right, I'm not going to give a brief description of each book. I'm just going to let you know what they are. All right, first up is Spider-Man number 235. The Despicable Deadpool number 290. The Flash number 36. Royals number 12. Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps number 34. Action Comics number 993. New Superman number 18. The Amazing Spider-Man number 792. And finally, Wonder Woman number 36. All right, that's not a bought, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 8,372. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. And here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. True or false? Spider-Man made his debut in Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Everyone who answers correctly will be entered in a drawing for a free tee in next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Dustin Gullich, who won a free tee in this week's episode. All right, it's birthday time here on the Comic Hero Show, and happy birthday to Nick Giles, Sarah Matney, Donald Mitchell, Chris Garner, Nicole Rabb, Marlon Turner, Carol Giles, Joe Griffin, Ron Wafer, Evilise Poulin, Felicia Dupree, Michelle Eason, Alton Burns, Susie Beck, Sue Anderson, Samantha Vaughn, and a very special happy second birthday to my little cousin, Eric Shelton. Oh, and I didn't get a chance to say this last week, and I'm going to keep saying it, and I'm probably going to say this again next week because there's some people that haven't done this, but I want to congratulate all the college graduates. It doesn't matter what college you went to, but I really want to congratulate my little sister Gabrielle Nunley, who just received her master's in Health Information Administration from Texas A&M University in Texarkana. So congratulations, Gabrielle. I love you. I know you're gonna teach, and you're gonna be an amazing teacher. You're already an amazing person. You're going to be an amazing teacher at that. And also, I want to congratulate my friend Tana Walker, who just received her bachelor's from Northwestern State University. Now, if that name sounds a little familiar to you, that's also because she's a member of the Rose City Rollers, and her roller derby name is Tannibal Rector. And also, congratulations to my friend Sarah Kelling. She is about to receive her associates from Pulaski Technical College in Little Rock. So congratulations, Sarah. And while I'm thinking about it, next week, right here at Southern Realms Comics and Games, beginning at 5 p.m., there's going to be a Christmas party. So if you're watching this and you're a regular here at the store, or even if you've never been to the store before and you've always wanted to, come on out. I will do episode 195 there during the party. It's going to be spectacular. It always is. It's never a dull moment here at Southern Realms, folks. And, yeah. All right, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week for episode 195, right back here at Southern Realms Comics and Games for the Christmas party. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.